We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable.
A new world order.
It's possible. When do we want it?
We want it now. I was watching for the phrase New World Order, as I always do, as we always have for years. And I ran into The Hill, the show or the channel or the news outlet. And there's a reporter named Kim Iverson, and she did a whole 15-minute segment on the New World Order. And I thought it was kind of interesting. Now, The Hill they're rated as like kind of center, a touch left.
Center. Oh, left.
Yeah. A lot of.
I thought they were center right.
I think I don't know. The one I'm looking at now, a report from Adfo Net Media or something, they rated it as slightly left. So
okay,
what are you
interesting?
Doing? What's going on? Okay, yes.
Oh,
please,
we have a baby. We have a baby on the set.
Yes.
Who let this baby on set?
Okay, so here's Kim Iverson talking about the New World Order. I edited this down because she gets into all kinds of quotes and stuff, but so here it is on The Hill, the Rising show here.
Well, everyone is talking about a new world order. What does that even mean? What will the new world order look like? Who will control it? What has been touted as a right-wing conspiracy theory for the past few decades is now just loosely falling out of the mouths of global leaders everywhere. Now, despite the ADL claiming the idea of a new world order as a conspiracy theory touted by conspiracy theorists, interestingly, numerous world leaders have been throwing the idea around. If you remember, just a few days ago, Biden was talking about a new world order forming. Here he is.
There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it, and we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it. So anyway.
Now, immediately, elite media rolled their collective eyes and said, oh, great, his innocent use of a phrase is just fodder for conspiracy theorists. Okay, maybe. But then, just these past few days, the World Government Summit convened in Dubai. It's a summit similar to the World Economic Forum. In fact, the two organizations are closely tied, and the key organizers are also members and young global leaders within the WEF. The two organizations are similar in that they both gather together the rich and the powerful to discuss the world's problems and how to solve them. This one is put on by a group of Emirati government officials. And this year's 2022 summit took on an eye-raising title.
And the title of this session, are we ready for a new world order?
The Chinese and the Russians have been talking about it as well.
Well, before we go on, let's talk about that real quick. That the World Government Summit, which Klaus makes an appearance, we have a Klaus clip from that. The name of the event is, what is it? Something New World Order?
Are we ready for a new world order?
Are we ready for a new world order?
Yeah.
And in this time where we've been noticing the uptick in the phrase being used just by world leaders in general.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. World Government Summit. Hello.
Right.
They're just really leaning in, I think, at this point.
Well,
they know that the cat's out of the bag, so to speak.
Well, they're playing dumb. They're talking about it as if it's sneaking up on them.
Right.
And as if they haven't been planning and executing it for decades now.
Yeah. Okay.
I do need to start by saying the music, the opening music and the like scripted opening monologue to the whole thing had such a delightful sort of dystopian mainstream, 5 o'clock on a Thursday feel to it.
Right. The glossy, shiny pop feel, but they're talking about why government leaders are all talking about a new world order. I skipped the part where
and not only that, but how the new world order has been real all along, and your crazy conspiracy theory uncle was right, which is kind of like that can be a pretty traumatic paradigm shift for people. Of course, for people who like us or who listen to this show, we went through that paradigm shift, which has a certain layer of sort of crushing implication that you have to deal with. But when you put a nice, music bed under it and you have a nice peppy sort of mainstream gloss on the person saying it, it's totally palatable.
Yeah. Well, let me continue on here because I skipped the part where she quotes the ADL and they consider it a conspiracy theory created by conspiracy theorists. It's like, okay, ADL.
ADL, that's the
Defamation League, the American
Anti-Defamation
League. Yeah. Back to the clip here.
Title of this session: Are we ready for a new world order?
The Chinese and the Russians have been talking about it as well. In fact, the two nations just got together yesterday and declared that they're building a new democratic world order together. A new world order run by these two sounds a lot like what has been.
The Chinese and the Russians said they're going to start a new democratic world order?
CBS News headline on March 30th.
Xi has explicitly talked about how the weakness of democracy and how democracy will be the end of society.
Xi and Putin are saving the world.
Have I been lied to by the mainstream?
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But let's
read that
continue.
Headline you were going to read.
Oh, it's Russia. 30th. It's Russia says it's building a new, quote, democratic world order, end quote, with China. Beijing and Moscow advanced a vision of a new world order Wednesday as Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov made his first visit to key ally China since his country launched its invasion of Ukraine. Moscow's top diplomat landed in the eastern city of Huangshan early Wednesday for a series of meetings about the future of Afghanistan. Interesting. But Russia's bloody assault on its neighbor was likely to loom large over proceedings. So anyway, okay.
Great.
Back to Kim Iverson's commentary on this.
A new world order run by these two sounds a lot like what has been touted by the people labeled conspiracy theorists. Yet here we are. And with China buying out everyone in every industry, it raises concerns as to how much influence they have over the world. I think it's time to pay attention to the conspiracy theorists, especially as Russia and China force the world away from the petrodollar and into the new petro-ruble or petro-yuan. Imagine a new world order under China. Would it be a tyrannical socialist world using repressive measures, eliminating dissent and disarming its citizens? Would there be concentration camps housing dissenters? Doesn't sound so nuts anymore now, does it? And though I do think China and their ability to buy up influence is a problem that we should be addressing, I'd like us to think of another possibility. There's a possibility that a new world order isn't run by any government at all. We've seen transitions from monarchies and dictators to democracies, but maybe the next iteration isn't a government run by the people, but a technocracy instead, or at least run by big corporations in conjunction with big tech.
She busts out technocracy in the report.
We gotta the mainstream is stepping on our turf, man.
Well, they've run out of material. They literally, because they have been sold, they knew they were going to die. They have to go move on to this information or they're going to die. That's really the reality.
Speaking of The Hill, there is a show called Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. They formerly were on hosted Rising on The Hill, and now they do their independent show. They do ads. They do all sorts of stuff.
Right.
So they're as independent as that could be.
Right.
But they were talking about how they were doing it in the context of their show and their mission, about how they want to create a new mainstream, and the new mainstream are the independent people online. And it's becoming more and more of a possibility, Gonz, because we really don't report on anything, or not anything, but everything that we've been reporting on for 10 years has become the mainstream. Yeah. Are we mainstream news now, Gonz?
Oh, no, I don't
know if I like that. Where's that mainstream paycheck? If I need to be called mainstream, I need the mainstream paycheck, or else it's not worth it.
Yeah, well, I guess that's going to matter. I don't think mainstream in this new format has been defined clearly yet. So it will depend on what that means, in the next decade or something. So, So this is part 2 from The Hill, and this is when Kim Iverson finishes her monologue, and then she brings in these couple dudes here to sort of comment on stuff. This first guy, if you're watching on the right, is Robbie Suave. SOAVE.
Cool name.
Suave. And he's an American
not
journalist,
a real person.
Senior editor for Reason, and the author of 2 books, Panic Attack, Young Radicals in the Age of Trump, and Tech Panic, Why We Shouldn't Fear Facebook and the Future. So that's the first guy that comments. The second guy that comments is Ryan Grimm, who's the DC bureau chief at The Intercept. So a couple of, interesting dudes to comment on this New World Order thing. So here we go.
So I think there's really no doubt that things are shifting. We're seeing it happen right now with this war. It's dividing up the East from the West. We've also seen over the last few years the power of big tech. I don't know what this New World Order is going to look like. I'll let you guys take a stab at it. I mean, what do you think? Or do you think it's just a big conspiracy theory and everything will be the way it's been? Nothing's really going to change.
Well, no, things are definitely changing, and they can change for the worse. And I have a lot of concerns about many of the things you raised. I mean, I guess and this isn't to disagree with you, because you pointed this out in your radar that it's while there are kernels of truth to many conspiracy theories, what the really intense people who claim the New World Order, what they mean is all of these forces, like there's a man behind the curtain, or there's many men behind the curtain, right? They're all meeting at a secret meeting, not the people behind the political leaders and the corporate executives, and they all get together and they all worship Satan, and they're all like having orgies with children, and they decide to like do evil thing. Like that level of it is not true, because as we see, many of these forces are actually at odds. Like we're at odds with.
So
this guy, man,
it's funny how he dismisses that any of that is taking place. That is wrong, and he's like, no, it's only taking place at this geopolitical level, where China's one thing and Russia's one thing and U.S. is one thing.
Well, it's even more like he's like, it's not like all the world leaders get together and plan stuff. Oh, you mean like the World Economic Forum and the World Government Summits and
the clips we just showed, or Kim Iverson just showed to them? Yeah. I don't know. But
it's not like they're having orgies and worshiping the devil. Well, buddy, I have some bad news for you.
There's a thing called Bohemian Grove that on record some weird stuff has happened.
Yeah.
But
Madison Cawthorn has something to say about that too.
Right, we'll get to that later. Okay, so continuing on.
Many of these forces are actually at odds. Like we're at odds with China. The true New World Order conspiracy theorists think us and China and like everyone, the people in charge of everything are getting together and high-fiving and that kind of thing. And that part of it is going too far, because a lot of these forces are at odds with each other. But that doesn't mean you're wrong about the dangers of evil forces, or forces that want to restrict our freedoms, seizing opportunities like the pandemic, like terrorism, like other things to further restrict our freedoms.
Oh yeah, they're not the same people who caused it at all in your mind, dude.
This guy is not very good.
Suave.
Robbie Suave needs to.
Hey, he's written books, man. You can't bag on the guy?
That is books the thing, right? Once they write books, they get to go on mainstream TV. I gotta work on that.
He's
book,
a Forbes 30 under 30 in 2016.
Yeah, but everybody's one of those. I mean, that's not that hard to do.
Are you doxing yourself?
I was. I mean, Basil wasn't, but I was.
Oh.
Go look at the list, folks.
Okay.
Here's a clue.
All right. Yeah. Wow, what a misdirection.
We were just talking before the show. The reason why this show can get isn't the most accessible show out of all the shows that are available is mainly because
you say stuff like that, which you just said, and we leave it out there.
Yeah, the flippant, fiction that is integrated into.
You know what it is? It comes from being
the
jaded.
lore of the show.
All this lore is being created because of the jadedness from reality of what's going on, and we just have to laugh at it. But anyway,
something I don't know. We'll get some quality analysis going.
I'm sure
on this show. People finally tell me what's wrong with me. Please.
I have plenty of people telling me that. Okay,
let's keep going. We're getting off track.
All right, here back to Suave.
It's a huge concern.
Yeah, and I think just because...
Oh, we're going into the other guy now. The other guy, Ryan Grimm. Grim, bro.
Grim and Suave. Okay. Nobody can give me any guff for using the name Basil anymore, because these guys definitely made up these names.
Grim and suave. Okay, so this is Ryan Grim, DC bureau chief at The Intercept. He's host of Deconstructed. Oh, he deconstructs stuff. So this is his commentary.
Apparently that's mainstream now.
It's mainstream.
Great.
Further restrict our freedoms. It's a huge concern.
Yeah, and I think just because there was a particular set of conspiracy theorists who had this satanic kind of notion about this secret global new world order that was going to be formed doesn't mean that as a entire globe we have to retire the phrase new world order. Like, there is a world order, and like Biden, I think he said it fairly well, every 3 or 4 generations you do get a new world order. You know, after 1990, when the Soviet Union collapsed, that created a new world order, because there was no longer this kind of, you know, superpower against superpower with China figuring out what its role was.
These guys are not even very good at articulating what they're trying to do.
And they have like gaping holes in their argument. They're
bad comedians is what they are. They're bad open mic comedians where there's no punchline. Like, there's no articulated point that's an aha moment. The bad open mic comedians don't understand the difference between the concept of the setup of a joke and an actual punchline. You know, you'll see it a lot where it's like, I mean, what's up with these vegans? They have leather seats in their car, but they won't eat a steak. I mean, come on. And you're like, okay, I understand you've painted me a picture, but where's the funny part?
Where's the misdirection that makes things funny?
Yeah. Where's the actual thing? And that's what these guys are doing. Oh, come on, they think there's Satanists in the highest levels of power. Come on. Okay.
That makes me think that they're one of them, you know? Like, the more you deny it, it's like, what's up with you? Like, why do you not see any of the proof out there? There's lots of stuff that you can research.
So the question that she asked was like, so what do you think? Why is the New World Order coming up a whole bunch? And then these guys are just going off on like, well, some people say it's a bunch of Satanists and that's just crazy. And some people say it's this other thing, but that's just good. It's like, okay, that wasn't the question. And you guys are pretty obsessed with talking about what it isn't and not what it is.
He's a Satanist.
All right, let's continue on here.
There was a different world order before World War II. There was a different world order before World War I. There will continue to be different world orders. And when there are new ones, they will be new world orders.
I want a new world order based in universal free expression rights, political freedoms, property rights, accountable, limited democratic government. That would be a great new world order.
Yeah, bro. Suave, man.
You know what they're trying to do? You know what this is? They're trying to reclaim the term.
They are trying to reclaim the term. That is 100% what's happening right now. Yeah.
They're saying it. I mean, they've literally said the words New World Order about 100 times so far in this clip. So they're trying to use it enough so that it loses its power. Yeah. They're trying to reclaim the term so it's no longer connected with conspiracy theorists, because we have Biden using it from the pulpit, and we have world leaders. Pretty much every week, a world leader is talking about the New World Order. Which has, I think, opened up a lot of people to the possibility that these conspiracy theories, there might be something to it. And so the mission now is to make the phrase impotent, to use it so much that it means nothing, use it so much that you can take it away from the conspiracy theorists. And that's sort of a very effective phase in the propaganda or the psychological operation of letting the population in general come to terms with the fact that this is something they're going to be hearing a lot about now.
Right. So there's the World Government Summit video, this promo video, the letters, the words, the New World Order flashes on the screen multiple times. It's got a narrator talking about having a future internet with, or a free internet for everyone in the world, and a decentralized future, and technology changing our lives and the environment, and then it shows Klaus. Well, I'll play Klaus's clip in a moment here. And only then can we construct a new world order. Which is like, okay, so you guys are literally saying you're building the new world order. You're telling us at the World Government Summit that you're building a new world order, but it's just a conspiracy theory. So this is Klaus. I edited this down as well. It was like 4 minutes. It's down to a little under 2. Kind of short on time here, but it's okay. I want the audience who are watching to notice this, but also if you're listening, it's really bizarre because it's kind of like a quiet crowd, and then like a villain coming on screen, Klaus appears and begins his address. It's I don't know. Do they not know that he looks like the worst villain to people out here? Like, especially in America, he just comes off as super villain. Do they not care? I don't know. Okay,
I don't know. Again, they're just trying to normalize it.
Sure.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency.
It's my great honor to participate for the 8th time at this important meeting. Even if only in a virtual way. With all the current issues on our agenda, we tend to forget that we are in the midst of the 4th Industrial Revolution, which accelerates global change in much more comprehensive and faster ways than the previous 3 revolutions. In times of crisis, the role of governments is more important and more relevant than ever. What is also needed is a summit like this one to go beyond crisis management and to look into constructive ways we can build our common future. Our futures are intrinsically connected to one another, as the profound challenges to mankind, such as climate change, are globally interconnected and require collaborative responses. In conclusion, and despite all the challenges, we have to uphold our responsibility, which we have towards the next generation, and which we can only fulfill through collaboration on a national and on a global level. I wish you an impactful and successful meeting.
Transmission out from Lizard Overlord.
Yeah, seemed like a pretty... I mean, compared to a lot of the stuff he said, it was a fairly tame speech.
Yeah, definitely like. His the verbiage wasn't really that exciting. It's just more of just the whole
gotta love it. Gotta love the theatrics of it.
It's very